Since the beginning, we fought each other like savages, faced nature, destroyed the planet, created killer machines and weapons of mass destruction with the disregard of life. We're headed straight off the cliff. Wait, is that an 8?
Choice.
Is slavery a choice? I mean...
Yo, this your boy Hunter. Signing in.
Yeah, what up? It's your boy B1 Unique Burner. Just asked me a question. Is slavery a choice? What are you talking about? Modern day slavery?
Slavery in general. Bro.
Slavery in general?
Slavery in general.
Describe slavery. What's your definition of slavery?
You being held against your will. You being a prisoner of war. You being a prisoner of war. Now, my question is to you. Are you willing to do whatever it takes to get yourself out of slavery? Or are you just going to sit there and submit? That's the real question.
Well, that's very particular. Prisoner of war?
I mean, technically, that's what a slave is. Because a slave is held against their will. They don't have no choice. They have to do... Again, just because I have a shackle just because one person has a shackle and another person doesn't have a shackle doesn't mean their circumstances is any different. Just because you can paint shit gold don't mean it's not shit.
So, I just want to clear this up. You're talking about modern day.
I'm talking about everything. Front to back.
Well... It all depends on the law of the country too.
What are you talking about?
Because some countries isn't their law to allow slaves.
Well, unfortunately, excuse me. Fortunately, I don't live in those areas.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's okay. If you want to speak on it in that sense,
it's a broad scope.
I mean, it could be even broader than that. But for shits and giggles, let's just be a little specific.
I want to say I don't know anybody that's that willfully submit themselves into slavery.
You don't? You're a slave right now.
How's that?
You being a 14th Amendment citizen makes you a slave. Again, just because you don't see the shackles.
Who's my master?
The government.
How's the government my master?
Do you not have to pay taxes?
They don't make them my master.
Oh yeah? Don't pay taxes and see what happens. See if you don't go to jail, then you see the shackle.
There's penalties, of course. I know it's the laws of the land.
No. You're fooled to think that. The way it is set up is exactly the way it is.
So you come to my house, and I tell you, don't put your foot on my couch. And then you jump on my couch and say, fuck my couch. There's going to be some repercussion because it's the laws of the land.
So you are supposed to respect respect someone else's property. But what happens when you find out your intellectual property is what's being stepped on by the government? Why would I say that?
Intellectual property?
Why would I say that? What is intellectual property?
Up here?
No, let's just get the legal term.
I'm thinking intellectual property. Like,
let's not think. Let's just get the facts, right? Let's just get the facts. So let's just look up Black's Law Dictionary, which is a legal dictionary. That's what the lawyers use. Okay. So Black's Law, right?
But how does that pertain to a person?
What is a person?
My goodness.
I'm just saying, because again, lack of knowledge is what hurts us. So I'm just trying to bring awareness. What is a person?
A person, a human being, a person.
Nope.
Walking, living, talking, breathing.
Nope, that's not a person.
A statue is a person then?
A person is a fictitious entity. That's what a person is.
It's one of those words that has...
Well, what I'm referring to is strictly, because we're talking about rights. We're talking about rights. So when we talk about rights, we have to talk about law. So when we talk about law, we have to understand what the legal definitions of these words we think mean. So it's a difference from knowing and thinking. That's why I said, whoa. Instead of us thinking about what we believe, what we want to know, let's just look up the facts, right? That's what's on paper. So I'm gonna go to Black's Law Dictionary. Boom, dictionary, boom. Let's go search. Oh, I don't want that. Oh, okay, good. Person. We're gonna look up person, right? And what was the other one? I'm sorry.
Intellectual property?
Yeah.
Or intellectual?
Intellectual property. A man considered according to the rank he holds in society with all the rights. Nope. Hold on a second. Gotta find my dictionary. Boom. So we'll continue on and we'll follow up. I'm downloading it right now.
So let me just tell you, go back to, I would like bringing up the Bible. According to the Bible, the Jewish people had slaves, but there are still some rules to how that applied in their society. My understanding, correct me if I'm wrong though, say you come from another country and you're poor, but you're willing to work. You could be
an indentured servant.
A person can give you house and shelter and all that.
An indentured servant. That was considered the original slave, an indentured servant, right?
Yeah.
Back then, a slave or someone who was considered a slave was someone from the Slavic region of I believe it was Czech Republic.
The word derived came from there or some shit?
So if we follow etymology, right? Not the definitions, because definitions change. So if you follow etymology, a slave was actually reference to a group of people from a region of a body of land. You know what I'm saying? From a section, a land over here that's not here. So now we think of a slave to be someone who's under shackles, and that's shadow slavery, right? And that's what we are under. We are under shadow slavery because of the fact that we, living, breathing people, have to pay taxes. And in reality, the only person that should be paid that should pay taxes is a business, not us. Now, on the flip side, we control a business, right? Do you see where I'm going with this? We as people control the business, and in turn are authorized representatives on behalf of the business to issue the credits for you get me? So again, because we don't fully understand the process, we are fooled to be 14th Amendment citizens who have to pay taxes, because the 14th Amendment citizen is a business. Or a person, I should say. The 14th Amendment citizen, which is a legal representation of yourself, is a fictitious entity that was created at birth. Don't believe me? Look at your driver's license, all capital letters. Look at Home Depot, all capital letters. Look at McDonald's, all capital letters. All of those are businesses. Want to hear another one? Look at the Federal Reserve. That's a financial institution, a private. Again, why is that important? Because it tells us that there's two things that we really don't understand, and that's the private side and the public side. I'm only emphasizing that because right now we're operating in our public status, and that public status puts us we have full liability of everything that happens. And in reality, all the liability should fall back on the government, because in 1933, when they filed bankrupt, they took all the gold away from us the people, not us as in you and I, the people, the actual people, the republic. They took all the gold away, and in return said, hey, look, all your I believe it's your immediate necessities of life. So like that's food, shelter, that will be taken on us. That's why in the Constitution, I believe it's the Constitution, it says that the US dollar is backed by the credit and good faith of the nation. Simply saying that as long as the 14th Amendment citizen works and and generates income, they have to pay taxes. And then when they pay their taxes, the government stays alive. But in reality, without the knowledge of, more and more of us will continue to fall into that same system. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with working for someone, but at least work for a dream that's actually going to make a difference in your life, to oppose of financially supporting someone who has no support in your community or your society. I'll give you a small example. It's not a twist, it's a pop. You got to pop that.
Continue with what you're saying, because I want to say something.
The point, ultimately what I'm getting to is that right now, even though, because most of us are comfortable with what we're doing, because we're not really paying attention to what's really going on in terms of our lives, and that most of us aren't really obtaining the goals and the dreams that we really set forth. And that's because we're so caught up in a system that is structured to just make you go to work, spend money, stay home, and just spend energy doing nothing. Now, again, if anyone is comfortable doing that, I'm not taking that away from them. I'm simply saying that we have to pay attention to everything going on in front of us, because all of that makes a big difference in terms of, we don't need to be voting. We don't need to vote. What are we voting for? Our vote does not count. The senators' votes count. I believe it's the senators or Congress or whomever is the part of the college, whatever, house, whatever. They want to look at our votes and be like, you know what? I like this, but I'm still gonna vote this way. How many wasn't that just what happened with Trump? Didn't Hillary win based off of such and such, but Trump still came out on top?
Yeah, the popular vote, she won the popular.
Yeah, that's the people, right?
There's certain states, not all states have popular vote.
I get you. But what I'm emphasizing is it's still the people, right? Oh, okay. So the people voting and their vote don't matter. Clearly. But 3-4 years later they want to impeach the guy because he's bad misuse of power, and what was the second one?
Obstruction of Congress.
And the funny thing is, you know what? I don't follow it too much. But what I do know is that the United States is a company. It is a company that went bankrupt. And I understand that Donald Trump, I'm not a Trump supporter. The man be saying some stuff that don't make no sense. But again, he is a billionaire. The man, he's making money that I'm not making. So clearly he's on a whole nother level. He understands something. And even though what he's saying is one thing and it's fucking with people, They're clearly not watching his actions because the man is still a powerful individual in his own right. Again, I'm not a supporter, but he's doing something right. There's something that he's doing. And again, everyone is just caught up in the things that he's saying, but what is he doing? I mean, yeah, sometimes he's talking about some grabbing this and this need to shut up and blah, 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 blah. And man, look, all of it is show. All of it is show. Just the other day, about 2 or 3 years ago, Frank had that meeting at First Data. What did Frank say? Something about being arrogant and confident or something like that. It's like there's a point where you got to be able to read between the lines, man.
But I understand that, and I want to say not every country has the same taxes. So again, taxes is kind of a wishy-washy thing for me.
It all goes back. It all goes back to Rome.
How does it go back to? Let's go back to the slavery that we were talking about. Like how does I understand.
It's all connected. Let me get this topic.
All right, cool.
It's driving me crazy.
All right,
back at it.
So,
how the other ones coming out, by the way? Before we start, the other ones, the other videos.
Oh, I haven't started editing them because I'm working on, or I have like a bunch of shit in my head and I'm trying to figure out.
I got a challenge for you.
What?
Because it's a challenge for me. I need to come up with 5 videos by the end of the year. I need to produce. I need a photography.
Can I see your phone real quick to go to YouTube?
Yeah, play it on your phone.
I'm recording.
It's not. I guess there's no audio. Let's see what happens if I click another video from you.
Get out of here. Play it again.
I don't got no audio.
Get the fuck out of here.
You don't play your own videos back? You don't? Man, listen. I be in YouTube editor for about 30 extra minutes just making sure all my end cards is on point.
My dog still liked it.
Add that audio. Now you have a new video.
All right.
Update the intro.
We fought each other like savages, faced nature, destroyed the planet, created killer machines and weapons of mass destruction with the disregard of life. We're headed straight off the cliff. Wait, is that an A? Hey guys, welcome to Straight Off the Cliff.
Time out. Do you know what L means?
L?
L. Do you know what L means?
Duh.
What does L mean?
Duh in Spanish is duh.
No.
El negrito, the negro.
Oh, so you're using it
as Spanish.
The burner.
Yeah. Because I'll tell you where I get it from. Go ahead.
L and Bay are wait. I'll come inside in a second. Ooh, who is that? Wait a minute. Who's that?
Daddy.
That's me? Dang, Daddy tall. All right. All right. She see Daddy tall. Anywho, I got that from this dude I know named O'Shea. That dude funny. Dusty.
Yeah, we went way off subject.
Yeah, man, we just chilling. We
went way off subject.
Why you mad?
Right. Yo, I'm gonna tell you I'm mad.
Yeah.
Like, what are you so mad about?
Yo, you want to know why? First of
Straight
all,
off
you
the
can't
cliff.
be asking me no question. You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck is you? You know what I'm saying? You can't be asking me no question. I'm going to tell you why I'm mad. You know what I'm saying?
I've never forgot that since I heard that shit, dog. I've never forgot that shit. That's one of those shit.
I played it for the girls, yo, and they were like, okay. She asked him why he mad, and then he spazzed out. What's so funny? I'm like, what? Never mind. If I have to explain it, it ain't funny. It ain't funny. It kills it. It just defeats the whole thing, and it just becomes the man just upset.
Why you mad? I'm gonna tell you why I'm mad.
I'm gonna tell you why. Get out your feelings, nigga. Bitch, you a man. Get your fucking act together, nigga.
Before he answers the question, he says,
let me tell you.
Man, who the fuck is you asking me questions?
Let me tell you anyway. Fuck, bitch.
Right.
Hey, this is gonna be cut, right? This is gonna be a blooper.
Oh, man.
Off the wall bloopers. Hey, we thought we had wind, niggas. We thought we had wings.
Right.
Oh, hey, is that water? Oh, shit. Oh, for real though.
Damn. Flies must have it hard. So,
and it's been a while since I've been on the bus, so I can only imagine now. They probably only accept bus cards, and they probably charge a fee for that, maybe depending on where you get it from. I don't know, man. I'm just thinking outside the box, thinking out loud.
The smartest thing I know that the transportation ever did was add Wi-Fi and add the app that you could tell where the bus is at and how far away it is from reaching you.
But when you understand how the technology works, is it really that beneficial or harmful?
Well, that's the thing. You have to make it work for you.
I hear you, but my question is, regardless of whatever we want it to do, the actual technology itself, is it beneficial? Even though it does help us in our day-to-day lives, is the technology physiologically beneficial for us.
Well, is it holding us back?
I mean, science says it is.
In what ways?
Well, look at it this way.
Because I don't see it as holding us back. I see it as, look, we get these phones every year and it's upgrading. They're getting smaller. They're getting this. They're getting that. So I see us. We're challenging ourselves to see how far we can push our mind.
Now, I'm not limiting anything here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that there's not a lot of great innovations that's happening, but where there's always good, there's always bad. Just like how you can, and I'm just using this as an example. Okay, just like how a gun could be used to protect, it could be used to kill. It's a tool, right? So all I'm expressing is, even though the technology is really beneficial for us, for our bodies. I give you the most permanent, the 5G right now. 5G is something that is across the board known to be bad, but yet it's widely being pushed. Now, I'm not saying that I'm feeling any of these traits, because I do have a tower right here on my street, right? What I am saying is, when we do look at how plants interact around just a simple router in your home, it stunts the growth of a plant, a simple router. And the router operates on 3G, or was it 3, what's the gigahertz? 2.4? Yeah. It operates on a 3G frequency almost, or lower than a 3G frequency, or gigahertz. Maybe I'm not explaining it right, but all I'm expressing is that the router itself, on a low band frequency, limits or inhibits the plants from fully maturing to where it could be if it wasn't on a regularly exposed to. So, not saying that there is not innovations or whatever. What I am saying is that if our bodies weren't so overly exposed, we probably wouldn't receive a lot of the aches that we feel, especially if I'll give you another example. If we already drink on a regular basis, we don't live an active lifestyle. We smoke cigarettes like 3 packs a week. Well, if we live a very fucked up lifestyle and then we also incorporate all these other things that affect our bodies, whether we are aware of it or not. And that's all I'm getting to. I'm not trying to say people need to change their lives and do things. All I'm saying is we really need to educate ourselves on the things that we have around us, especially when our kids are on a more susceptible basis to these things, because they have the technology all over their schools. Shoot, I remember I think one of these schools, one of these private schools I was trying to sign Ian up for, they were telling them how they set them up on an Apple program where they get all these Apple products sent to the home, and I'm like, damn, yo, that's nice. But then when I really think about it, I'm like, but that opens up so many cans of worms. But regardless, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, because I myself, I like to think above and beyond about things, and that's just who I am as an individual. With that being said, I'm not saying that all of these things are completely bad. I'm not saying that they're completely good. Just the technology itself is still not. How can I say this? There's still not enough known about it for it to be for us to know the extent that it will do to the human body. Would you like me to pull up some articles? Anything. If you don't want to, it's cool. I understand.
Are we naturally exposed to this by stuff in the earth anyway?
So there is a natural occurrence of electromagnetic activity that occurs. But what we're referring to is something that is mechanically made, something that is man-made, which is not naturally made. So just like how you have the stars, how the stars map out like a motherboard and a chip, the same way a chip looks like in a computer, it's vice versa. How nature works is exactly how mechanics works. It's just on a more mechanical, physical realm. You can see it happen, to opposed of nature where it just happens, where you don't see it mechanically working. You just see the process. You get me? Like you can see.
So how do you feel about satellites, like Dish TV and stuff like that?
What do you mean?
Because they're beaming signals too, also.
Yeah. So you know what?
And they cover a certain area, and then you have to consider microwave and all that stuff.
Exactly. A microwave. Exactly.
And
a microwave works the exact so you see how you see how what happens on the inside of a microwave? That's exactly what happens with 5G.
So my question,
it's called a millimeter wave.
All right, so now the next thing will be,
Yes, sir.
Is this causing people to live longer, live shorter?
Shorter.
And is there a study that backed this up? Because there will be other countries that will reflect the same results.
Yes, there is.
Worldwide, pretty much.
Yes. It's big in Australia. It's big in England. Look it up.
Okay.
I promise you, bro. It's just, again, I wonder why.
So people in South Korea and Japan are fucked.
I mean, well, look at it this way. I don't know. Their government really cares about their people in a unique way. I don't. It's like they want to control them to how they want to control them, right?
Maybe their diet also is different.
That's a big factor. Because remember, I did mention that how we feed. So I'm not saying that I would never eat meat again. I'm just saying that I'm not eating this meat that we have now. The meat just hear me, right? I'm just using the meat as an example because the meat itself, it harbors a lot of things that are foreign to our body. And those things I wouldn't say counter. It's like they work together. It's like they have a symbiotic relationship behind the scenes with a lot of the other things that go on in our environment, if that makes sense. It's like we already have cancer. Well, yeah, we technically already have the cancer cells already in our bodies, but the things that we incorporate into our bodies turn on those cells. It activates them. Just like you have everything in your body already needed to make lung cancer, but the second you incorporate smoking and then you incorporate a high level of smoking,
yeah,
it's just like that.
I don't know.
What is it that you don't know? I don't get it.
I don't know if I know the government though.
Let's not talk about that.
I know, but I don't know if the world will accept something that'll alter the human body in their country.
Again, a lot of people are fighting against it, but if a lot of people, how can I say this? It's very unfortunate that you have to go to work because you got to pay bills, right? You got to take care of your family. So how much time are you willing to put to aside to something that you don't see that's physically bothering you and your family in the immediate when you know you got to put food on the table? How much time are you going to put to the side? Especially when you at this moment see nothing but benefit. Not knowing, I'm just using this as an example, not knowing that the government would take your gold and use it for something else and then spin things off in this way where, hey, look, we don't have no more gold, we don't got no more silver, we got you. What happened to all the gold and silver? All you gave us were all these IOUs, but we want our gold. Well, we don't have it anymore.
What the hell that has to do with 5G shit?
Because you have regulations, right?
Yeah.
So who puts these regulations forth? I believe it's the corporations like FCC and right. Mm-hmm. So who are in control of these corporations? If they don't do their job or whatever, quote unquote, mm-hmm. they go to the government. They have to answer to the government, right?
Correct.
Okay. So ultimately, if all I'm expressing is on a minuscule level in terms of money, which controls a lot, right? If they lie to us, or I don't want to say lie because that sounds so bad. If the situation played out how it played out in 1933, almost 100 years ago, what makes you think that they wouldn't do, or excuse me, what makes you think a similar situation wouldn't play out in any other aspect of our life? Why do you think because other people are not, I'm gonna say dumb because that pretty much you're just ignorant. You just choose not to know, right? I'm good where I'm at. I don't need to know about that. I don't care about who got shot, who got stabbed, who's jumping off cliffs. I don't care because my family is Gucci, right? So all I'm expressing to you is if everyone is complacent and they're good, they're not worried about any of that stuff. So when you do bring these things, if they're not even privy to certain things, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, whatever. It's whatever. That's what we all do, especially if it goes against what we believe in, and which is a dangerous thing to mix with. Belief? Oh man, beliefs are poison. It's poison.
You probably, I have to research it, but I haven't heard anything other than conspiracy theories. But I have to just look.
What is a conspiracy theory? Someone who
something that's yet to be proven.
So, well, okay, look it up. No, because if you're saying it's yet to be proven, then all I can say is then look it up. Because technically, when you look it up, then it's going to be proven for you.
I have to research it.
It's going to be proven for you. That's fair enough. I'll leave it at that. But with that being said, man.
I personally don't think the signal's enough to.
Look at it this way, bro.
Like I said, I have to research.
Are you? No, I'm just gonna. This is off the topic.
Because I have 5G right now in my house.
Listen. This hear me. On a molecular level, the molecules what? They vibrate, right?
Yeah.
So if you look on a periodic table, there's these numbers on the periodic table, right? That reference the different weight of thus said molecule or element, pure element on that table, right? Okay. So those different elements, they're vibrating on a specific frequency, right? Because everything has a frequency. How you know that? Sometimes listen to your earring. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when you look on the defibrillator, isn't that showing your heart rate? Your heart rate is your frequency, right? Anyway, that's past the point. I don't want to get too deep on it. The point is, even on a molecular level, you can see that you're vibrating at a frequency. Mm-hmm. So what makes you think that technology isn't interacting with your frequency?
Or interfering, you mean?
Interacting, interfering, engaging, neglecting, negating, however you want to look at it.
Destroying?
It could be
obliterating?
It could be all the above, but how would we know? There's some people out here.
Studies.
No, thank you.
Right. So that's
Fair
what
enough.
I'm saying. I have to look at the research, and
I'm just explaining a process so you can know what to look for.
If the research is compelling,
I just gave you a process.
I
just want to give you a quick
I
rundown.
want you to know I'm out there. I'm like,
you're off the cliff.
Straight off the cliff.
You're off the cliff.
Oh man. Yeah, but I haven't.
It pissed me off.
What?
When I started learning about it, because I love technology, man. I love it. Dude, you don't understand. When I tell you, there was a point where, especially at First Data, bro, I was spending so much time trying to understand how electromagnetic, I wanted to dive into that information, but I didn't have enough time because I know I had work to do. Whatever. I'm over here getting boiled up now over a job that doesn't even exist again anymore. The company's gone. First Data. I know First Data, the alumni of First Data felt so hurt. No offense to them. No offense to anybody. They created a Facebook group.
All right.
Group. Yeah, alumni group. I felt honored to be a part of it because only one person invited me. And this lady, I've never even met this lady in my life. Her name's Angela. Man, she's the sweetest woman I've ever, I want to say, electronically met somebody. Sweetest person I've ever met in my life. Awesome. Nice. Anywho, with that being said, she invited me to the group. I've never met this woman. And I'm looking at these people, and these people have been with the company since 1981, I think it was. 1991. I was like, damn, what? I hope they live their dreams. And that's what I'm trying to get to. It's like I hope when people do these things, they're just aware that they had other options, but this is what you chose to do. And that you're teaching your kids to live their life and not to follow behind your footsteps. Let them live their life. So that's why I'm trying to do everything I can possibly do, even though I don't get to see them as much as I want to right now. Sometimes, lately, I'm not gonna lie, for the past 3 weeks, I've been really slacking because I was in a really fucked up mind state, man, just trying to get my mind back together. But sometimes we let our thoughts get the best of us, and then you use other means to kind of step out and get away, and then even that shit don't really help because you realize that people can never keep it straight. They think they're keeping it straight, but they still jump in hula hoop, whatever. That's a funny story.
With that being said, I'm a rule. To be honest, I don't know why I stopped the recording so abruptly, but I try to piece things together, get it back together, and do my best I can to make this more easier to understand. With that being said, it's your boy BurneR. I'm out. Hunter.4D. Till next time.
Since the beginning, we fought each other like savages, faced nature, destroyed the planet, created killer machines and weapons of mass destruction with the disregard of life. We're headed straight off the cliff.
Wait, is that an 8?